Hello all, welcome back to Shaving with Peg Leg. I'll be shaving my head today. Just so you know, you're in for a head shave. It is Sunday. I do my head shaves on Wednesdays and Sundays. Let's get the advertisements out of the way. Don't forget my affiliate link to the razor company. If you use my link, the kickback I get from that, when it gets to $25, I buy a gift card for $25 to the razor company, and I give that back to you guys. I do a drawing with all you guys that enter the contest, and whoever wins gets that gift card. Okay, so advertisements out of the way. All right, today I'm doing something a little different. Go figure, because I'm just a little different. I'm shaving with this lightweight sucker right here. This is the razor company razor, and since I figure it's going to be probably 10 days to 14 days, 10 days to 2 weeks before I get to it, because I got to finish up my Magnificent 11 razors first. That thing's driving me nuts again. And I'm no appreciate to you, because I'm just using Cantu. It's got a little peppermint kick to it, so I'll be using liquid Vicks Vapor Rub for an aftershave. Yeah, I just want to use this. It's got a little peppermint kick to it. That just looks like I did something nasty in my hands. Anyways. No, this stuff doesn't lather at all. It's just a slick gel type substance. Even though I think they listed as a... No, it's a shaved gel. I should have seen that before I bought it. It's listed as a shaved gel. Alright, today what I want to talk about is not something that happened on today. Today's date, the 14th of August in 1945, the Imperial Japanese Army, military, surrendered to the United States. Unconditional surrender to the United States. That's the big thing that most people want to talk about today, but we're not going to. We're not going to talk about something that happened today. We're going to talk about something I just ran across and I found interesting. So I'm going to deviate a little bit, and I'm going to go into John Bonham territory and just do something I found interesting. We're going to talk about this lady right here. I'm going to put a clip in right here of her dancing, and we'll be right back to that. Amazing, isn't it? Could you imagine? Her name, by the way, is Carmen Amaya. She's a Spanish... This is supposed to be a light, mild shaving razor. And I can't remember the blade gap. That gap right there is over 0.9 millimeters, slightly over. I think it was 0.939 or 59. That's a lot of blade gap. I checked it like 4 times because I was like, there's no way it's that big. But I checked it like 4 times, and that's what I kept coming up with, was a 0.9 blade gap. And I'm using fourth use and last use Dorco Titan. And my knife just went sliding across the counter. Okay, I got it. Anyways, I'm getting a lot of blade feel. And I wanted to use something mild so as not to turn into a vampire all-you-can-eat buffet again. Can you hear that? Almost sounds like her dancing. She was they're saying debatable, but most people agree, she was the greatest flamenco dancer of all time. In a dance that was generally reserved, or was reserved, for the best male dancers. No women had done that before. And she was a gypsy. Spanish gypsy. And her skill set was flippin' amazing. The leg strength, the coordination, the skill, the cardio it took to do that. Unbelievable. She started off as a 4-year-old girl. Her father would play guitar at pubs, saloons, bars, clubs, whatever you want to go. He would play guitar. And he would rely on the money that people threw on the floor at his feet when he was playing guitar. Well, she started accompanying him at 4 years old and dancing while he played guitar. And that's how they made a living. All right, hang on. I got to read. I've read this story like 3 times and I still can't remember half of it. All right, she was born. There's debate. There's 3 different dates. There's a date in 1913 that she was born, a date in 1915 that she was born, and a date in 1918 that she was born. See, it was illegal for you to work under a certain age in Spain at the time. So she had lied about her age at that time when it became an issue, so that she would make herself old enough to actually be old enough to work. But she died at the age of 50 in her beloved Spain in 1963. All right, they're saying she was either 45 or 50, depending on which birth date you go by, of a kidney disease. She suffered from renal failure, and the doctors couldn't figure out what was causing it to cure her. And it wasn't just her dancing that got her famous. She toured all over Spain. She was 11 years old, and she was discovered by a guy who booked performances, and he started booking her without her father, using his own band guys at theaters throughout Spain, and she started performing at around 11. Guys, you gotta admit that's some pretty damn good dancing. I mean, I was never a big dancer. I did some, but I was never really great. And I only did it to get chicks when I was younger, to be honest, because chicks like dancing. But you use whatever you got. But anyways, she's freaking good. So anyways, so he starts booking her all over Spain, dancing with his troupe, his people. And she starts developing a name. I can never remember this name. Her dad's name when they played together was El Chino, the Chinaman. Oh, I'm looking for her nickname. I'm sorry, guys. And my finger's wet, so my phone doesn't want to scroll. Anyway, I can't find it. My finger's wet, so my phone doesn't want to scroll. Doesn't want to recognize my fingerprint on the phone. So, anyways, she was, I think it was El Catina, or I think that's what's the name she was given the nickname. And there was articles written about her, and there's one famous one, this big quote in here, I can't scroll to it right now, but there was a big quote written in the Madrid newspaper about her at 11 years old, and how good she was dancing, and how she just captivated the soul and moved your soul with her dancing. How this frail little girl would just steal your soul with her dancing. And of course, they had to of course mention you had to be careful because she was a gypsy, so she might actually be stealing your soul. Because gypsies have always had a bad reputation. So anyways, 1936, the Spanish Civil War breaks out. Her and her troupe were booked to perform in Portugal shortly after the war broke out. So they made their way to Portugal and performed in Lisbon and got out of Spain during the Civil War. Then they took a ship to Buenos Aires and they landed in South America and they started performing all over South America. Oh, I gotta go front to back. So they started performing all over South America. And they were a huge, huge success. And she became a star and a darling across South America. She had what was said to be a great personality, very outgoing, very personable. Just everybody loved her and they loved her performance, her dancing. So around I think it was 1937, she makes her way back to Spain after the Civil War. She made her way back to Spain. So she gets back to Spain. They perform all over Spain again. They tour Portugal again, and then they take a trip to Mexico City. And they perform in Mexico City and a couple other places in Mexico. And then they bring their act in 1941. They come to the United States. And of course, somebody that can dance like that, you know Hollywood's going to find a role or make a role in a movie for her. And they did that with a few movies. I think it was 3 movies that she did in Hollywood. And she was on the silver screen for her dancing. And she performed for Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, and he was so impressed, he invited her to perform at the White House, to dance at the White House, which she never got to do. But he was so impressed, he invited her to dance at the White House. So they make their way back to Spain after touring America, after she does a few movies and everything. In 1947, they go back to Spain. And she does a few more between 1947 and 1963. time of her death. She does a few more tours of South America, United States, and Europe. She danced for the Queen of England, which is still in power, Elizabeth. She danced for her in London. She had a remarkable career for a gypsy from Spain. For a woman doing a man's dance that had never been done before. No woman had ever done the dance. And nobody, not even the men, were as good as she was. She was absolutely fantastic. Just my trouble spots. I mean, go back and watch that again, guys. Look at her footwork and the spins, and not missing a beat with the spins. I mean, incredible. I just happened to run across that, and I was like, I said, I got to talk about this. This woman was flipping amazing. She married in the 50s when she was touring. She married the guitar player in the group she was touring with. And he was with her on her final performance in 1963, just like 2 months before she died. And in the middle of her set, she stopped, looked at him and said, "Andre, we done." She was done. She couldn't dance anymore. Her illness had gotten to her to the point where she could not dance anymore. And she stopped in the middle of her routine and called the performance right then and there, told him, "We done," and they left. She tried to live comfortably the rest of her days, which were literally just days, in 1963, before she passed away from kidney failure. What a shame to lose such a talent at only 50 years old. And to dance right up to basically the time of her death. She basically danced herself right to her deathbed. Beautiful lady. Absolutely no question on her skill in dancing, especially the flamenco. It was this. I know it says flamenco, and I've heard it pronounced flamingo, whichever you want. But she was absolutely skilled at it. And that razor did a good job. No blood, didn't open me up, so that did a great job. I just couldn't believe the blade gap on it when I was measuring it. I was like, holy crap. It's supposed to be a mild razor. And I'm going to use my Gentleman John Allen block like I always do. And as I thought, I'm not getting anything. It's, even in the spots I went over half a dozen times, there's 0.2 of a point. I mean, there's nothing. I know it's a little off of what I usually talk about, but I thought she was just very interesting. She lived through the Spanish Civil War. She lived through World War II. She danced for queens and kings of Europe. She danced for the President of the United States. They didn't say if she danced for any of the leaders of South America or Central America. They just said that she performed all through that area. They never said if she danced for any of the leaders. I would be pretty sure that some of those leaders, with Chazel from Walgreens, I would be pretty sure that they at least caught her performance, wouldn't you? I mean, you had an international star in your city, your town, your country, you would catch a performance. Osage rub, otherwise known as liquid Vicks vapor rub. And I'm only using this because there was peppermint in that soap. Wow. I'm going to keep my eyes closed for a second, guys, until the fan takes those fumes away. Oh, that was a big mistake. Why did I do that? Holy crizap. Johnson & Johnson baby lotion. Went right up my nose too, but that was fine. I cleared my nose out. That's fine. I wiped it over my eyeballs, my eyelids. Not smart. Whoa. I've never been accused of being smart anyways. Alright, there we go, guys. I had a little bit to talk about today with her. She was fantastic performer. And I'm sorry I wasn't alive during the time that she was to witness her. But we do have tape of her dancing now on YouTube. People are posting it. Fantastic dancer. Beautiful young lady who could dance her literal ass off. Literal. I didn't say little, I said literal. I just slurred it a little. You guys are bad. You really are. You make me say bad things all the time. You're a bad influence on me. Like I need that. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you being here. Probably my shortest video ever. Thank you for being here. Oh, I'll do another video on it. I got an unboxing to do. I'll tell you what, I'll end this video and I'll do another video about the unboxing, and I'll post that after I post this one. Alright guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you all being here. Don't forget the affiliate link. It hits 25. I give it back to you guys in the form of a gift card to the Razor Company. Alright guys, done with the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.